From the Homestead Studios in Santa Clarita, California, it's just the Tip-Sters with Melissa Morgan.
Hail fellow, well met.
Brewing a hot kettle of Murdertizer, featuring one of the weirdest cases Melissa's ever come across. Remember, if you got a tip for Melissa, call the Tipster hotline at 832-TIPSTER. That's 832-847-7837, or send an email to jttipsters@gmail.com. You just might hear your tip on the podcast. And now here's your host. When it all goes to Hellena Handcart, she'll hunt Hellena down and make her give it all back. Melissa Morgan.
All the cowbells. Yeah, Helena's a toad, and she better give it all back.
She's of the Montana handcarts.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
right, exactly.
Yeah. Right. You know, I was just thinking about that. Is it David Lynch? I'm trying to remember who did the movie Boxing Hellena.
Oh, I think that's right.
Yeah, just dawned on me. I wonder if it was like Hell in a Box.
Ooh.
I don't know. Just thinking. Yeah, obviously I haven't had a lot of sleep. So yeah, I was just thinking out loud, which is always a very, very dangerous thing. Very dangerous thing.
I'm sorry you haven't gotten much sleep.
Oh yeah, it's your fault.
I do snore.
Sometimes, but it's not your fault. It's my brain that is like 8-9 hamsters on one wheel, just spinning and eating a bunch of sugar, just like it's very sad.
Oh well, I didn't know you were eating a lot of sugar.
No, the hamsters are.
Oh, the hamsters are in your brain. I see. They're sugar-fed hamsters that are. I gotcha.
Yeah, free-range sugar hamsters in my head who are spinning on the wheel.
All the sugar they crave.
That's right, just spinning in my head like it's really very sad.
All right.
So sometimes a case comes along, and it's still, we're still in the prosecuting stage, so we do not know how this will end, but I can hardly wait. And sometimes they're so fascinating you have to tackle them right away, and they're not exactly long enough for an entire episode, but this will possibly be the most tasty Murdertizer we've ever done, and an hour later we're going to be hungry again. Is that a clue?
It's kind of like Chinese food.
Oh, ding, 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 ding.
Oh, no. Now, we have to tell the audience that I don't know anything about this.
No, I refuse to tell producer Mark.
Other than you've told me it's the weirdest thing you've ever seen.
It's one of the more weird, and I refuse to tell him any details, and he would like walk by my desk or me looking at my iPad, and I'd be like, and he's like, "What are you laughing?" I'm like, "Nothing."
Yeah.
Nothing. This is a real... never underestimate the creativity of a shitbag who wants out of his marriage, and what he may be good at, and how he may use his talents for so much evil, and to the point where he's really fucked up his family pretty bad, I'm going to guess. This story, I wish like anything I could say I found it first, but gosh darn it, I got to give credit where credit is due. And this was sent to me late one night, perhaps she wasn't sleeping either, by my beloved Pam Coronado. And I was like, you are fucking with me right now. At first I thought she was like really severely punking me. And then I read more about it, and I checked several sources, and I was like, she's not fucking with me. This is real.
Oh, my.
So I said, all right. Thank you. The gauntlet has been thrown, and I am doing this story, Pam, because it's too fucking good not to do. So in the early morning hours of May, an early morning in May in 2015, a mother and daughter were going shopping, and they're in the town of Mao Shan in Hong Kong. And they are in their yellow Mini Cooper, and a jogger jogs by and sees them and thinks they're taking a nap. And then on his way home, 45 minutes later, he passes them again. And he's like, I don't think they're taking a nap. It's not raining, and the windshield wipers are scraping across dry glass. I think I better call cops. So he does. And the police show up and find the wife of Khaw Kim-sun, and their daughter deceased in their yellow Mini Cooper.
Well, were they like in the front seat? Mm-hmm. Just dead.
Mm-hmm. So Wong Su-fung and her daughter, who's 16 years old, they thought they had fallen asleep. They thought they had maybe overdosed. They weren't sure what was happening. But on investigation of the car, they find in the trunk a deflated yoga ball.
Oh, maybe you should explain what a yoga ball is, because I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so a yoga ball can come in different sizes. You may have seen them around office buildings, people who are, wanting to be modern and hip and healthy and using a standing desk. Or there's like a ball you can sit on that helps, keep your balance and work your core.
Yeah. They're very popular right now.
Yes, even though you just said you didn't know what they were. So
I just didn't know they were called yoga balls.
Yeah, they're actually called yoga balls. Now, there's a couple of kinds of yoga balls. There are a kind that I have a friend named Terry Littlefield, wonderful yoga instructor who teaches workshops with yoga therapy balls. Now, those are small, round, hard balls like a handball ball or a tennis ball. They're the size of a tennis ball. You could use a tennis ball, but the yoga therapy balls are more pliable. But a yoga ball, typically, when you say that, anyone in the yoga world would know you can sit on the ball in a class, or you could take like a class, or you could sit at it at your desk and, like I said, strengthen your core. I know some women have used them to try and induce labor, because you're moving around, and you can perhaps move the baby in the womb around so it's ready to come out. All sorts of stuff. So her husband, Khaw Kim-sun, 53-year-old associate professor at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and he's a anesthetist.
Oh.
And he had bought tens of thousands of dollars worth of carbon monoxide under a thinly veiled excuse that he and one of his students were conducting an experiment, and they were going to use it to anesthetize rabbits.
Aha.
His daughter was going to stay home from school, and he encouraged that. Stay home from school and finish your schoolwork. But she ended up going shopping with her mom. And they both died of carbon monoxide poisoning in their Mini Cooper that had been slowly leaked out of a yoga ball that had been unplugged in the trunk of the car.
Okay. That is... okay. Well, he gets extra credit for being creative.
See why I was like, when Pam sent me this, I'm like, you are fucking kidding me. True crime and yoga balls? Do you think I'm not going to cover this one? So he's 53 years old. He was an anesthetist at the Prince of Wales Hospital, and then now became an associate professor, I guess, in anesthesiology at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. And he was having an affair with a student. And his wife, they had 4 kids. His wife would not sign the divorce papers. She would not let him go, and he, was just living his life the way he was going to live his life with his new girlfriend. And she goes out shopping, and he thinks his daughter's at home, and nope.
It puts the yoga ball in the trunk.
Yep, and unplugs it so that it slowly leaks carbon monoxide, which, makes you sleepy, can affect your vision, can give you hallucinations.
Has no smell.
No smell, and then you die.
Well... Okay, Prof. Great plan. I mean, did they think they weren't going to find the yoga ball?
Well, they probably wouldn't have. Wouldn't you think a mother and daughter could have a deflated yoga ball in their trunk? Absolutely. Unfortunately, several of his colleagues, he had recruited his lover to help him, as she's a student, help him with this wonderful, experiment on anesthetizing rabbits. Except all of his colleagues saw him filling a yoga ball with carbon monoxide.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of these murder cases, I'm just not impressed with the intellectual rigor of the planning.
Yeah. Professor Kim-sun, not, may have been smart as far as what he used, not real good at follow-up. He changed his story numerous times. Like I said, he told his colleagues he was using it to anesthetize rabbits. When authorities questioned him, he was like, "Oh, I'm using it to exterminate rats in my house." Now, here's what you don't do. You don't fuck up and expect your housekeeper to not take up for your wife and daughter. So when the investigators come to the house, they ask Sita Morosa, who is the housekeeper, is there a big rat problem here? No. What are you talking about? There's no rats here.
And by the way, my boss is a dick.
Yeah, my boss is a dick. And let me just tell you how this household runs. Ma'am did the cooking for her and the children, the Indonesian maid said, and Sir made his own meals for himself. She didn't say this, but I know it's implied. They made extra work for me because he slept in a separate bedroom because they're not even together. They're awful. He's an awful man. So,
That may have piqued the interest of, Lieutenant Hong Kong or whatever.
Well, the coroner, Dr. Fu, said he examined the bodies and there's no physical injuries on either one. And they probably died between 12:45 and 2:45 the same day that they left and, pulled over to the bus stop where they were, seen by the jogger on his way to his run and on his way back. And he's like, they haven't moved in 45 minutes. There's a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, I guess that you would probably, if you're going to use a yoga ball, I think you probably would have been a lot smarter in how to figure out how to, make it deflate faster or not be seen testing it.
You're kidding me, right? I am the worst. I am legit retarded. I would end up filling it with laughing gas, and whoever I was trying to kill, they would just be found parked in their car laughing hysterically, and everyone would think they're stoned. No, I wouldn't be that smart. I think in his rush to get to his girlfriend, he, really fucked up and assumed his daughter would not go with his wife, but, she did. Now, apparently during, court, he cries and wipes his eyes when the coroner mentions doing the autopsy on his daughter. And, they have to, how it is in Asia, I guess you don't really express a lot of emotion. So the judge was like, I'm calling a recess. We'll reconvene tomorrow. We're just leaving before lunch and not coming back because, he cried and wiped his eyes, and that can't be shown in court. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, probably true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like producer Mark said, carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless, deadly gas. It's in fumes in fuel and gas stoves and gas fireplaces, and it, can be poisonous, which unfortunately his wife had a level of 50, I guess, milligrams or micrograms in her blood per liter, and his daughter had 41, and anything over 40 is fatal, and his daughter just right over the edge, and she, she's gone too. So even though he fake ass cried during court when they discussed the autopsy of his daughter, he's such a great guy. The South China Morning Post said that he suggested that his daughter had done it and she was trying to commit suicide.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he is a great, what a prince of a fella.
He's a prince.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say another word, not prince, but something else. It was nice of you to change it to prince. So the prosecutor is like, look, this is a deliberate and calculated murder plot. This is not an accident. This was not his daughter attempting to commit suicide. His daughter had no access to carbon monoxide. She loved yoga. No, I'm kidding. I don't know if she did or not. But he was seen filling the balls with carbon monoxide, numerous ones. It seems like he may have tried it a couple of times, and it
Let's
didn't
see
work out.
which one leaks at just the right amount.
I'm not kidding. Yes, that's kind of it.
He is a scientist. They are very precise.
In the details of an experiment, but not covering their tracks.
That's the problem with with the scientists, is that everything is theory, and when you
Right.
try to put theory into action, oftentimes doesn't work so well.
Yeah, he didn't do a good job. So he started the trial on Wednesday, and Thursday they were still, deliberating, going back and forth. So we don't know. I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed that he gets whatever happens in Hong Kong. They take your balls off and feed them to you.
So this is still going on.
Yeah.
The trial's going on right now. Oh.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll have to do a follow-up on this.
I can hardly wait. But the prosecutor finally said, this is simply not true that his daughter attempted suicide. This is a lame lie. And that seems like a pretty great quote. A lame lie. He's just a lame dude. And don't fuck with your yoga balls. And more cowbell.
And while you're fucking or not fucking with your yoga balls, give us a tip. Call us at 832-TIPSTER. That's 832-847-7837. Or send an email to jttipsters@gmail.com. I'm still working on the best place to put my microphone stand.
Up your butthole.
Well, there's that.